Admiral Tony's log, stardate 2304.9. I have been tasked with hosting an open communication to share current events with the fleet and other interested parties. This transmission will be multicasting live via Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch to facilitate this. Tonight, we will be soaking up the tropical climate at the Zeta Fleet Colony World, bar instance number 1, while we hold our summit. Please X up and chat if you need access. Joining me for the mission are my two co-hosts, Fleet Commander Lance and Captain Selleck. Communication link established. Any personal news, Lance?
No, nothing exciting. Just spring has finally awoken in my part of the world, and looks like it's time to mow. And that'll be my Sunday, I think.
What does spring awakening look like in the Midwest?
Lots of allergies, and then grass and weeds, pretty much.
Nice bugs. Any specific regional bugs or animals that you have over there?
Not until the summer we get those little, I don't know, like commander gnats. I don't know, the little dirks that bite everybody.
Yeah. I live in New England, so we have lots of disgusting little creatures, including mosquitoes and black flies.
Yeah, luckily this part of the country, I don't have to worry about anything much that's going to kill me animal-wise, except the deer when you're driving down the road.
Yes, welcome everybody to this week's Middle America Insect Review show. Thank you for joining us.
We thought you'd enjoy that more than the SWOTOR.
Oh, Mike, don't bring that up. Don't bring that disaster up. All right, anyway, moving on. Selek, how have you been this week?
Not too bad. It's been a warm week, but other than that, it's been good.
Is spring also blossoming in the UK?
Yes, and it's horrible.
Does it go from a mild rain to a warm rain?
The first hint of sun, and people are wearing nowhere near enough clothes.
Oh, I see.
Because this country is full of optimists.
Here the shorts come out in March.
Oh, they're most Americans, because we're more obese than the rest of the world anyway. We wear shorts all year long. Yes, if you are looking to get to the Zeta Fleet Colony World, go ahead and X up in Priority 1 chat, and we will get you an invite over here while we do our news and roundtable. Not a lot to talk about tonight, so we'll breeze through that, and then we'll head to Gon'Cra. I always switch the G and the C. I always say Gon'Cra, but it's actually Gon'Cra for our weekly away mission. So we'll do that pretty soon. And let's say hi to people in the chat for joining us. Nova, Teacher Guy, Bort Cobain, Baron Von Zolo, Spirit Caller. I think I called Teacher Guy already, right? Yeah. Well, he deserves twice. Teacher Guy twice. There we go. Dozer. Let's see. Who else do we got? Vindalen, Lord Ford. I think Lord Ford was treated to our pre-show chat in our Discord stage, so I'm sure they thought that was great. Hop Lightman, hope I'm saying that right. Chiquito Seal, Chuli Stowe, Lesser Panda, Matt Black. Welcome. As I zoom in and out on my character screen. So thanks for joining us. University of Iowa students would show up wearing shorts blue with cold in January with 70 below wind chills. Yep.
Yes.
That sounds about right for Middle America.
Probably after a night of drinking Busch Light.
Yeah, probably after a morning of drinking. All right, so Selek, why don't you tell us what we have planned for tonight's briefing?
During the summit, we will discuss the latest Star Trek Online news. We'll also share the latest Priority 1 Armada news and highlight some of the outstanding members within our community. So if you've not made your way over to Fleet Colony World Bar Instance Number 1, come and join us. Put an X in chat if you need a invite. After the summit, we will warp to the Gon'Cra battle zone for our weekly away mission to skin the scales of some Zenkethi and, most importantly, earn some marks and dilithium. Your character needs to be level 60 to join.
Well, we have incoming from Starfleet. I've just been informed that Fleet Museum Commodore
LaForge.
Wow, you guys are spot on that. Great timing. Has some fine equipment to send us that he found in the Star Drive section of a Sovereign class that came in. Captains, for your chance to win a TR-116B sniper rifle, type the word Hawkeyes into the chat. I can't believe I'm saying this. Hawkeyes into the chat. Sorry, I'm so flustered about it. I forgot to copy and paste it into the chat, but I will do that now so that you know how to spell Hawkeyes in case you don't. Hawkeyes, yes. Apparently that is some I don't know, sports ball team.
Yes, several. If you want, I can sing the fight song.
No.
We're good?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. No. Go ahead. Go sing it. Go ahead.
Oh, I lied. It wasn't. Maybe teacher
No.
guy can help me.
No. Please sing it. Go ahead.
We're gonna fight. From hosting the show now?
So what Lance doesn't know is that I muted him when he went to sing it.
Oh,
Are you telling me I had to suffer that alone?
I was here too. I had to hear it too, but I muted it for our audience because if I've learned anything in the last month, it's don't prank them too hard or they will revolt. Anyway. All right. So good luck to everyone. Good luck to everyone for that giveaway.
If you're not a member of the Priority 1 Armada and you want to stay in touch with us in-game, then come join us on our Priority 1 chat channel by typing in the chat box /channel_join space Priority 1, all one word, and then hit the enter key.
And if you want to be a member of our Priority 1 Armada community, simply head over to priority1armada.com to sign up. We have multiple Federation and KDF fleets for you to start your career in the Priority 1 Armada. I presume that is still relevant, because I did not check.
Yeah, we still have the domain, so we're good.
Oh,
Okay.
the domain? Yeah, we have the domain. That's not the problem. But we'll talk about that later. All right. Well, we have a lot to brief everyone. No, we don't. We have a little bit to brief everyone on in This Week in Stowe news. So let's jump right in. Lance, why don't you tell us about the thing that I am scrolling up in the script to see what it is, and that is the galaxy goes to red alert. Tell us about that.
This time, the entire galaxy is going to red alert. Star Trek Online is launching the Galactic Red Alert event on all platforms from May 2nd at 10 a.m. U.S. Central Time to May 16th, 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time.
Hang on.
Wait
a minute. Wait a minute.
Read the news here, sir.
Yeah. But look, nobody cares about Central Time. Nobody lives in the Central Time zone that matters. Like Eastern Time is the only time zone. Everybody, it's either Eastern Time or GMT. Am I right, Selleck?
Correct.
Okay,
Whoever wrote
thanks.
the script doesn't agree with you.
Continue. Yes. Well,
All right.
we'll have to talk about that in our next meeting.
So on May 2nd at 8 a.m. U.S. Central Time, actually, and May 9th, it'd be 10 a.m. I had my joke and I messed up. I didn't fix the second line.
Sorry.
All right. Basically, from May 2nd to May 9th on PC, and all of the Red Alert events will be returning at once, as the Final Frontier is caught in a massive invasion on all sides. During this event, you'll be able to play the following content: the Borg Red Alert, the Alachi, Tholian, Senkethi, and Nakul Red Alert, and I decided I'm not reading that one line we always read. In addition to their usual rewards, these task force will also grant daily bonus progress. You'll receive 1 daily progress each day for completing 1 Red Alert. Doesn't matter which one, on any character on your account. After you receive 5 or 10 daily progress, depending on the length, you'll be rewarded a package containing the following once per account: an ultimate tech upgrade and a specialization point. For captains on Xbox and PlayStation, the 2-week version, you'll also be able to grab an experimental ship upgrade as part of this package. You can also purchase this grand prize on the events page. If you prefer, the price will be prorated as you earn daily progress, becoming cheaper the more you play. If you earn or purchase the event's grand prize, you can still complete the Red Alerts to earn bonus progress. Completing a Red Alert TFO each day will grant a bonus amount of dilithium, or beginning at 8,000, increasing by 1,000 for each completion thereafter. Red Alert Task Force operations are available to captains of level 50 or higher. Head out and defend the galaxy, captains. Go to Red Alert.
Selleck, how excited are you about Red Alerts returning?
Oh, that's what's going on. I muted Lance after the singing. Yeah, no, this is a cool little event. It's a nice filler one that it's worth doing if you can be bothered to log in, but you're not missing anything super exciting if you can't.
What about you, Lance? Is this because you also play on Xbox? So are you looking forward to this? Are you going to be using it to do any to progress at all?
Absolutely. I mean, it's such an easy event. You can, if you, I always do the Borg one. You're done in like 2 minutes at most, maybe 3.
Yeah, and in fact, my favorite thing about Red Alerts is that if you have any um, ships that need mastery leveling, they're great to do. I know that sometimes people run, what is it, Argala on Elite.
Mm.
That's a really fast way. But if you don't want to do that, a great alternative is to run 4 or 5 red alerts, and you'll be done with the mastery from 0. So I like to do that. Plus, the other great thing is that you also do the daily, and you can get those marks if you can get any mark choice when they pop around. So that's really good too. So I'll have to check if I have any ships that need leveling. I'll probably hop in and take care of those. All right, Selleck, why don't you tell us about the Phoenix Prize Pack event returning?
Stowe is launching another special event with the Phoenix Prize Pack on PC. From now until May 4th, you'll be able to pick up a free Phoenix Prize Pack from Grim on Drazana Station or Onma on Deep Space Nine, once per day. These prize packs contain the prizes of the past, allowing you to access the weapons, items, and ships you may have missed over the years in Star Trek Online. You can see a full list of the prices contained within below. The Phoenix Prize Pack is a special pack purchased with dilithium or obtained for free during this event. Opening it grants a token with one of 5 rarities, and you can redeem that token for a list of prizes on that rarity tier. But that's not all. During this limited time event, the experimental starship upgrade tokens are returning to the Phoenix Prize Pack. You'll be able to exchange Phoenix Prize Pack tokens for a single experimental ship upgrade in the following amounts: 5 ultra rare tokens, or 20 very rare tokens, or 100 rare tokens.
All right, Lance, Phoenix Prize Packs, what do you think?
Well, I need the experimental ship upgrade tokens for my PC character, so I did cash in some Zen and dilithium, and ended up getting I think I ended up getting like 6 of them. So that'll help out quite a bit for the ships that I had that were not upgraded yet.
That's awesome. What about you, Selleck? Is there anything about this event that you're looking to help benefit your characters?
Not particularly. It's not a bad price to get those tech upgrades, but I have enough of them, so those starship upgrades, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. This one I actually haven't. Well, it hasn't started yet. I don't know if I'll really make it a point. But I guess I always forget to do it. If I don't have a character that's right next to one of the Ferengi vendors, like when I log in and out to do my dailies, I always forget to stop and get them. But I'll probably be logging in for the Red Alert event, so I'll try to keep a character there so I can just remember to get them. Because those the Phoenix Prize Packs, I feel like once you've been playing as long as some of us have, the best thing about them is when a special event like this comes around, or just getting those Phoenix Tech upgrades, just for multiple characters, So, Lance, why don't you tell us about the key and ring bundle sale?
Sure, temporal anomalies have opened a hole to an alternate universe, one with a fantastic sale, Captains. But this flash sale will only be available for a limited time from now until 12 p.m. U.S. Central Time on Xbox and PlayStation. You can save 25% on keys and the keyring bundle. Also, do not forget the keyring bundle gives you the chance to get your hands on this special bundle of 20 master keys and an ultimate tech upgrade. Hurry and grab yourself some items at one of the Star Trek Online's largest discounts ever. Sorry. Before the portal shuts and all is lost, don't wait. The flash sale anomaly can be... I'm getting fired. It's just, we're done.
I love Teacher Guy. Buy Grabthar's hammer. What a savings. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Galaxy Quest is the 5th best Star Trek movie ever made. Yeah, so this is cool for console captains. Lance, you're the Xbox player here. Are you gonna hop in and take advantage of this on your Xbox account, or are you focusing on your PC account right now?
I always buy at least one 20 keyring bundle when it comes up, just because I like those tech upgrades. And if I get anything else from it, cool.
Awesome. Lance, I'm assuming that you don't play on Xbox, so I'm just going to move on.
Wow.
Do you play it?
You just call him Lance?
Did I call you Lance?
Who are you talking to? I've got no
so,
idea.
No,
You said Lance. I'd assume you don't play on Xbox. Literally after talking to Lance about playing on Xbox.
It's been a long week. What's the other guy's name? Selick. You don't play on Xbox, do you?
I may have been muted, Selick, but he just forgot your name.
I'm muting both of you at this point. I think it will be a much smoother stream. No, I do not play on Xbox.
Do you play on PlayStation?
No, I do not play on PlayStation.
Okay.
I don't even play on PC anymore.
Could you? Well, could you tell us about the bonus dilithium weekend on console?
Only if I have to.
You have to, because your name's in the script for this part.
I can fix that. Alright, Star Trek Online is running a special event where you can use bonus dilithium ore by playing content throughout the game. It's time to hit the drills, captains. The dilithium ore event is currently running on Xbox and PlayStation until May 1st. During the event, bonus dilithium will be provided for the following content. The Vlugata asteroid field, you'll get 100% bonus dilithium ore for daily mining missions, as well as 100% bonus to all rich dilithium mining claims. The Fleet dilithium mine also has 100% bonus for the daily mining missions, and everywhere else in the game has a 50% bonus to dilithium ore. Dilithium rewards from completing event reputation projects no longer receive a bonus. This excludes event reputation projects. I don't understand that, but moving on. Please note the dilithium event does not affect rewards from the Endeavor system.
So I think the event reputation projects.
It's like your 8472 Undine, Discovery Gamma. You don't get the bonus.
Let me repeat that for folks at the back. Dilithium rewards from completing event reputation projects no longer receive a bonus. This excludes event reputation projects. That is what is written in the script. If you're struggling to understand that, welcome to my world.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's from their post, so what can we say? It's Star Trek Online. Lance, right?
Yes.
You're the one that plays on Xbox.
It depends which one you're talking to. I'm going to say yes and assume
Lance,
you mean me.
The American sounding Lance.
All right. If I'm
Sorry,
on,
did I ask you a question? I didn't even ask you a question, did I?
You're asking me if I'm going to play the dilithium event, and I will a little bit, because I want to get in. I got to get in and get my daily stuff done. So I will take a little bit advantage of this. But leveling up stuff, I've been working on the PC lately.
Cool.
Lance.
British Lance. No, sorry. American.
American sellout.
All right. Getting back on track, Lance, why don't you go ahead and continue on with the console patch notes?
Sure. They added various protections to various interactions with energy credits and dilithium, so that captains do not accidentally lose either currency when near their maximum capacity. I've never had that issue. Captains will no longer be able to refine dilithium if it would exceed their dilithium limit. Dilithium exchange will no longer allow captains to withdraw past their dilithium limit, and automatic dilithium refinement will stop if the captain is already at the dilithium limit to prevent loss of resources. Captains will no longer be able to accidentally delete any mail that still has attached items. They resolved an issue with the French twist hairstyle that caused captains wearing that hairstyle to no longer have their heads rendered. Actually, I think I've seen that one. That one's been there for a bit. I'm glad they got that one. Resolved an issue where captains under level 20 would not get the console universal destabilized tachyon emitters when commissioning the legendary Akira multi-mission command cruiser. Resolved an issue with torpedo command and control so that it now properly applies the correct buffs. They resolved an issue with the console universal harmonic yield distribution via radial aperture that would cause it to spawn too many lances. Has that ever been a problem? Well, it caused it to spawn too many lances than intended when used. Owners of the Alita Strikewing Escort or the legendary Akira multi-mission cruiser will now have access to the Type 7A Starfleet material on their Strikewing Escort family of ships.
Cool.
The first thing about the dilithium changes, those are actually going to apply to PC as well. We could
Yeah.
probably skip that later.
Yeah,
but
we'll get that. I think that's in the PC patch notes. So we'll talk about that then. Why did you change it to American Selic?
Just to see if you're paying attention.
I'm always paying attention. Look, half of this is an act.
Which half?
Only the funny parts. So Selleck, why don't you tell us about? Why, Lance? Why did you have? Why is he telling us about Xbox Armada news and not you?
Why am I even here?
Yeah, seriously.
we go back and forth, that's why.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so Selleck, why don't you tell us about Xbox Armada news, please?
Warriors. Join us in the courtyard on Fair City on Kronos for Wednesday Night Warriors evening. Wednesday Night Warriors. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. US Central Time. What's that in proper time?
That would be
6
7
hours,
p.m. Eastern.
6 hours different. I think it's 12 Greenwich Mean Time.
Okay. We gather a brave column of warriors and head into glorious battle. We usually go for about an hour or so and earn marks and dilithium running random TFOs. After the show, we send out prizes to all of the participants. Wow. Really trying to get them in. The Xbox Armada is looking for outgoing captains who wish to join the senior staff and help run the Armada. If you are interested in helping out with the admin duties of the fleet, please send an in-game message to @Gojira1479 or join the Priority 1 Armada Discord and message Gojira1479 there, or as he prefers, American Lance.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys have some great events over there, Lance. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we move on?
No.
No, but I think American Lance sounds like a great movie title.
I'm not sure what the MPAA rating would be on a movie of that title, but anyway. All right, moving on to PC patch notes. Added various protections to various interactions with energy credits and dilithium so that captains do not accidentally lose either currency when near their max capacity. Lance just went over all of that on the console side, so we'll skip.
It is worth mentioning,
those.
unless I'm mistaken, that none of this works, right?
No, I think they had a problem deploying it, unfortunately.
I do know that when they deployed it, there was an issue where when you sold a exchange item, the system did not alert you that you got the credits for it, and so people thought they were not getting credits for it, but it turned out to just be a problem in the messaging system, that they were in fact getting the money, but the system was not telling them they were getting the money.
It is a nice change though, because I know probably a lot of people like before, if you refined that extra dilithium or you sold something on the exchange that was over your limit for that character, those energy credits or dilithium just disappeared.
So so do we? Because I'm not that space rich. So what the cap? I believe for I don't even know what the tiers of. I'm a lifetimer, so I don't know what the tiers of membership are anymore. But I know that somebody has a 2 billion credit limit. Is that correct?
I think that's your character limit is 2 billion EC.
And that's across the board. So that's like even lifetimers and subscribers or whatever the preferred. Like that's.
I think it's each character though, I believe.
Right, but that's for everybody, right? Is there a
No.
limit for free to play characters?
Yes, it's
It's
15
different?
million.
It's 15 million. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very easy if you're not paying attention to just have a lot of energy credits just peed down the drain.
So now, and explain to me the change in this. So in the past, if you were at that limit, it would, and you received more than, so you went over your limit, it would just disappear. So now, what happens now?
So like go ahead, Sally.
I was just going to say, I watched the live stream for this. My understanding, based on the discussion there, is essentially everything is going to now go through the mail system, which will provide a buffer. So if you sell a ship for, say, 20 million and you've got the 15 million EC cap, you will not be able to claim the money to your character. You have to get that cap first, but that money will exist within the mail system. Whereas the old system would be that because the money is applied directly, if you are at the cap, like 5 million energy credits would just go down the drain and you wouldn't see it in any way. So
I see.
because everything is being buffered through the mail system now, it's going to be a lot harder to accidentally screw yourself over.
Did they also say in the stream that those emails you get with the EC, those will not count against your mail cap? I think they said that.
Indeed. If you ever get a warning that's, your mail is too full and you need to delete messages, that does not apply to messages from Star Trek Online itself or the exchange. You cannot, you won't be able to screw yourself over by not having space in your mail system.
Okay. That makes sense. So, and do we know? So it was deployed, but then they had problems with it. So, do we know any details about that, Lance?
Just that they said they were sorry, and then they were working on figuring out why it has happened.
I feel like
I hear that one a lot.
I feel like that's the schedule, right? It's deployment week. Here's this great stuff. Following deployment day. Sorry, it didn't work the right way. We'll be right back.
I think one YouTuber had said before this went into effect, there were a lot of people pulling things off the exchange, because they didn't want to happen to lose it.
Yeah. I did try to watch the live stream, and to be honest, I fell asleep. I just couldn't deal with it. It was the most boring stuff ever. All right, moving on to Armada news. This Tuesday, the Priority 1 Armada takes to the airways again with Accolade Hunter, hosted by Admiral James. This series will focus on finding all of those pesky accolades that you might not know about scattered across the galaxy. To check the time of the event, open up your fleet window, like so. Head to the Events tab, and you will see Accolade Hunter here, and the time listed will be that in your local time zone, so you don't have to know what it is in Central Time. You just have to know what it is in your time. So that is every Tuesday. So join us as we go accolade hunting. Then every Wednesday on our YouTube channel, join Sarah and James on the latest episode of Trekking Out the News, where we bring you all the latest Star Trek universe news and headlines. And then as usual on Thursday is TFO Thursday. This event is for all Priority 1 Armada members and offers a chance for us to team up together and earn marks, XP, and more importantly, dilithium. To check the time of this event, open up the fleet window, click on the Events tab, and see the event in your local time zone. Also, Project Sovereign is running every other Friday, so join the Priority One Armada cast on Fridays once a fortnight as they play the Star Trek Adventures campaign. Hosted by me, join us as we continue our epic trek among the stars every other Friday on Twitch, where the crew of the USS Sovereign NX-73811 get dangerously close to hijinks. And if you can't wait till then, follow us on Patreon and you can have access to Episode 0, where the players learned about the game and created their characters. So we were scheduled for last night, but unfortunately events changed, so we will have a new episode of that this coming Friday, May 5th.
And the following Friday as well?
No, we'll go back to every other Friday. So it just shifts. It just shifts a week, assuming that everyone is okay with that. And if you're not, tough. There's plenty of other lances to go around. All right. The Ferengi Alliance fleet is now working towards a Tier 5 starbase and colony world. The Priority 1 Romulan Republic fleet has an upgrade available on K-13, and all that's required to put this on cooldown is 1.2 million dilithium, so a lot of opportunities to donate and gain the fleet credits we all love. Moving on to the KDF side, the Klingon High Council fleet is now working towards a Tier 5 starbase and colony world. The Romulan Tal Shiar fleet just needs about 50,000 dilithium, fleet marks, and colony provisions of all types for its colony world Tier 4 upgrade to go on cooldown. SC Castle 85. So to join the fleet, head on over to PriorityOneArmada.com. And there's an application process you can go through, and then you will get an invite into whatever fleet is open. So head over.
Maybe we want to just invite him with the website changing.
Maybe should be fine. He just has to go to the website in the next 12 hours. We'll talk about that in a moment, but I don't know what the alternate process would be. That's the only process I know.
Somebody send him an invite in game.
Hey, Ronnie. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. Somebody else asked a question earlier. Oh, hey, Turcotte. I missed it. Sorry, I apologize. All right. So, where was I? Oh, yes. If you're interested in joining any of our specialist fleets, like the Ferengi Alliance, the Klingon High Council, the Romulan Republic, or the Romulan Tal Shiar fleet, you can submit your application on the Priority One Armada website for the next 12 hours once you have reached the fleet rank of captain in any of our primary fleets. These specialist fleets offer 25% reduced requirements for all promotions, as well as instant access to all fleet stores. And the Priority One Armada wants you on Twitter. We'd love to boost our social media followers, so each month we're giving away 10 lockbox master keys, 1 T6X token, and 1 fleet ship module. All you have to do is follow our Twitter account at P1 Armada, retweet our promotional tweets, and or comment on our promotional tweets to enter. So make sure to follow us, retweet, and comment for more chances to win. Check out our Twitter account at P1 Armada. And we made a TikTok account. Feel free to follow it. We'll be adding clips from all of our latest shows, so feel free to clip something you found funny, and the best ones will be featured there. To find us, simply type into your search at P1 Armada on TikTok. And captains, we want your help. We're looking for able members to join the Junior Officer Program. These officers will help the senior staff in running of TFO Thursday each week. The only requirements we have are that you are willing to chat on Discord. If you're interested, please contact Admiral Brent on our Discord. And we want to let you know that the KDF Armada is in desperate need of fleet marks. Nearly all of the inactive fleets in the KDF Armada have multiple upgrades running, and collectively, there are tens of thousands of fleet marks needed. So we would like your help in getting these projects and upgrades to go on cooldown in order to increase the Armada level. Remember to check each project, even if it says it's at 80 to 90% complete, as that is probably just because everything else is filled except the fleet marks. things. Also, the House of Koloth design has been added to our merch store. So check out the merch store by going to p1armada.com for the next 12 hours. Finally, a big reminder that Engine is shutting down. So that's the service that runs our forum website. So the website will actually be shutting down tomorrow morning, I believe. Tomorrow morning, Eastern U.S. time. So around 8 o'clock, I believe. So we will continue to administer the website right up until then. If you have any info on the website that you want, you must download it before tomorrow morning. So copy paste or whatever you need to do to make sure nothing gets lost. The new website will be launching with a temporary link to the community. And patrons can access it now via our Patreon page. And so starting on May 1st, you will all be able to access the new website just by going to PriorityOneArmada.com. So this weekend will be a bit of a transition period. So if for some reason you try to go to the website and it's not working, just be patient, wait a couple days, and we should be on the new site very shortly. Also, website donations. We are so grateful to our members who make donations to the community. Thank you so much to everyone who has made a financial contribution via our website. These donations directly support the Priority One Armada by paying for such things as website hosting fees, production software for the show, domain name fees, IFTTT services, restreaming software for the show, so many things. So we always like to spotlight a member, and this week it's my honor and privilege to spotlight one of our most amazing members who contributes so much to Priority One in so many ways, and is a very dear friend of mine and who I love so much, and that is Captain Gon'Cra, Lance himself, right here.
Well, thank you.
Wait, is that UK Lance or American Lance? American Lance. It's American Lance. So sorry. No, thank you so much, Lance. You're always gifting subs to Twitch viewers and donating. And you contribute your time and energy. So thank you so much. It's really nice that I get to directly thank someone on the show. So thank you so much for everything you do. I really mean that, and I really appreciate that from everyone. So thank you.
Absolutely. Just I love the community and I love everybody in it, so I enjoy spending my time with you guys.
You love all of us? Damn.
Yeah, all of you, yes. I figured it was a good time to do a gift sub too.
That's awesome.
And that was all my gift subs are random, so if you see me gift and all of a sudden Nova gets a subscription, I didn't target Nova, she just got lucky.
Who got the subscription? Did you just give one away?
Yeah, one mysterious stranger got the sub.
One mysterious stranger. There you go. Oh, awesome. Application submitted. Fantastic. Welcome to the fleet. All right. If you would like to support the Priority One Armada, you can make a donation on our website and receive a thank you package based on the amount you donate. So visit PriorityOneArmada.com to find out more. Again, if you have a problem going to the site, just wait a couple days. We should be back up and running. All right, so let's get going. Let's do our first giveaway. Let's announce our first giveaway, and then we will move on to our away mission. We'll start another giveaway. Let's get some stuff going.
Give them one more chance to put the awesome code word in.
No.
Hawkeyes. Type in Hawkeyes.
Oh,
everybody.
my God.
If you
No,
have
here
not
we go.
entered.
The winner of our first giveaway, which is the TR, which is a TR116. Oh my God, excuse me. Apparently I've had too much ranch water tonight.
I imagine like a big barrel, catching rain filled with like tadpoles outside the corner of a barn.
No, it's a I'm actually drinking in a Stark Industries glass, a lowball glass that that has a cube of ice and tequila and Fresca.
Wait, at Castle, type in Hawkeyes, plural. We gotta give him. He's joined us. He got to get a chance. He or she. Sorry.
All right. All right. Here we go. I think that'll pick it up. All right. Here we go. Let's do the giveaway, and the winner of the first TR-116B sniper rifle is Spirit Caller, which I think you are watching on Twitch. So go ahead. Congratulations. Go ahead and private message the Priority 1 account on Twitch with your in-game @handle, and we will send that in the mail in-game. Probably tomorrow, but it may take a couple of days. So just we'll stay in contact with you on Twitch if there's any problems, but we'll get that sent to you in the next couple of days. So congratulations on that. And our next giveaway is going to be for a bonus pool collection pack. So that's a bonus pool of stuff. What is it? Like experience and marks and stuff?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's all that stuff. Like all the stuff up here. The like it's a collection of bonuses, bonus pool stuff. All right. So to win, good lord. At least you went with an East Coast team on this one.
I just love that this is the chat says Hawkeyes like multiple times. Sorry.
So wait, what's Hawkeyes? What kind of team? What sports ball do they play?
It's a college university. It's the University of Iowa.
So what are they? So is it
They play football, baseball,
lacrosse,
men's, women's basketball. They actually used to dominate in wrestling.
Intercollegiate dodgeball.
Yes, plus underwater basket weaving.
Okay, great. All right. Go local and/or college sports team. All right. So for a chance to win the bonus pool collection, type into the chat Celtics. Ugh, Celtics.
And just so you know, I wrote when I wrote up our script, I put these words in here just to torture Tony, but he was too late to correct them. Now we're stuck with them.
I mean, I was gonna change them to NASCAR drivers, except Mark Martin, but I chose not to.
It's the funniest thing. You like everything is Go Sports Ball, but you're like all NASCAR. What's the difference?
Well, because in my look, I'll do my brief NASCAR auto racing spiel, and then we'll move on because I'll get lost in this conversation.
Oh wait! Before you start, we have 30 viewers.
So you want to see how many fall after I say this spiel?
Right.
Okay. So NASCAR is NASCAR and auto racing in general, but I mean I think watching multiple auto racing sports series, I find that NASCAR is actually, the drivers have to be the most versatile of all the high level racers. So in my mind, they're among, if not the best drivers in the world. I would say there is an exception for rally racers because those guys are just mental. Like racing that fast. Yeah, Baron von Zola, exactly. Those drivers racing that fast on those back roads and people's driveways and like with fans standing on the sides. The only thing crazier than that was the Baja 1000, which was so crazy, and the Dakar Rally. They were so crazy that they can't even do them anymore because the areas that they were driving through are so crime ridden now that like drivers were getting killed and robbed and like it was just a mess. So they can't even do those races anymore. Wake Roberts, just so you know, they don't only make left turns. They also race on road courses. This year they're doing a street course in Chicago, and they also race on dirt once a year now. And so that's what makes them so versatile, is that they're the only ones that can do that. They're the only series that really does that. The other thing is Formula One drivers is that in the last race a few weeks ago at Circuit of the Americas, several Formula One drivers, including Jenson Button, Kimi Räikkönen, and also Juan Pablo Montoya has tried to make a name in NASCAR. They have been met with limited success, and in fact, Jenson Button, when he got out of the race car at the end of the race, the NASCAR race this season, he said that he almost quit halfway through because it was too intense for him. He said that he couldn't believe how the drivers were driving the race cars, like how they were putting the cars in positions in the corners. And then he also said that running that one NASCAR race was the equivalent of running an entire Formula One season. And Formula One, they race like, 18 races a year? NASCAR races 36. 37 if you count the couple of exhibition races.
Selleck, this is the short spiel.
So not only that, but auto racing, and NASCAR specifically, is a sport that combines athleticism, communication, and technology. You have the athleticism of the drivers and the pit crews because, yes, driving a 3,400-pound race car 200 miles an hour, inches from another competitor, and being able to control that car going through the corner, it's so hot on those race cars, the drivers lose up to 7-8 pounds of body weight during a race because it's so physically demanding. Their heart rates are over 150, 160 plus for the entire 3 or 4 hours that they're racing. So you have to be physically fit to handle that intensity. The pit crews also, they're carrying 4 80-pound tires, so that's 8 tires coming on and off. They have to run around and change 4 tires, fill the car with fuel, take a tear off the front windshield, hand the driver a drink, clean off the front grille of the car, make an adjustment with a tiny wrench in the back window of the car, and they have to do it all within 11 seconds. That's insane. And they do it while other cars are whizzing past them, inches from their butts, going 55, 60 miles an hour. And that's dangerous. The other thing is that the communication aspect is that the drivers and the teams have to be communicating so that the driver can communicate what he needs from the team. And then the technology is that the engineering involved in NASCAR is almost at the level of Formula One now. And not only that, but auto racing is the only popular professional sport in which gender doesn't matter. Men, women, non-binary, anybody can race against each other on the same racetrack at the same time, and no other sport allows that. So in my mind, it's the sport of the future.
So it says we're at 29 right now, 28 if I don't count myself. We were up to 32, and then it's kind of fluctuated a little bit during there, depending what you were talking about. It was pretty good.
All right.
I have to give you credit. We went up to 32.
Anyway, let's make our way to Gon'Cra and let's bash some Zinkethi because that'll make everybody feel good.
Now, I have never worked this zone to completion, so I'm looking forward to tonight.
Great. Let's do that. How do we get out of here? We got to go talk to the... Oh, hail the security chief. That's what we got to do.
Return to ship. I just returned to ship.
Clear you for
Leave the ship. Here we go.
Maybe it was because, though, I got an invite and I wasn't...
Yeah.
No, you should...
All right. How do we get out of here? Oh, I gotta leave. This map is... Why is this map so different from everywhere else? Return to sector space. There we go. Yeah, I'm running my lower decks character tonight because we decided to do Zeta Fleet, which the only character I had was in Zeta Fleet was my Rutherford character. Wait, am I going to the Gon'Cra? No, I'm going to the battle zone. Here we go. Here we go.
Keep calling it Gon'Cra.
Is it safe to wake up now?
I'm done.
Yes.
I'm done. I'll stop talking about auto racing. So, is it safe to talk about...
You should be able to transwarp to the battle zone.
Yeah, I think I used my transwarp getting to... Oh, maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't. I thought I used my transwarp getting to the colony, but... So, is it safe to talk about Picard finale? Can we do that?
We were KG last night, so I suppose it's up to you.
I mean, it's been over a week. Is anybody in chat, like, super, like, hasn't seen Picard and doesn't want us to talk about it? Because some amazing stuff.
What does that mean, Ronnie? Yes, you've seen it, or yes, you don't want us to talk about it?
Let's put it this way. Is there anybody who hasn't seen it and does not want us to talk about the finale? You know, the least you could have done is instead of like sports teams, maybe sports figures like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan. Oh, Michael Jordan owns a NASCAR team. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah, he was at the race
I
last
don't even
weekend.
know who the hell that is.
You don't know who Michael Jordan is? What, do you live under a rock? I
Okay,
almost
so-
swore, by the way.
He kind of, if there's a fame equivalent in your part of the world, would be David Beckham. But he's that for U.S. professional basketball, if not
My
more.
condolences.
Here. Not personality-wise, just fame-wise.
Oh, look at that. We're almost done with the... Actually, we finished... Look, we're all done. We have to wait for it to reset.
Oh, we're gonna call it that? Whew.
All right, well, that was a good show, everybody. We finally
This
finished...
wraps up episode
Gon'Cra.
260.
All right, I will not mention auto racing for the rest of the night. I will stop. All right, so let's talk Picard, because it doesn't seem that anybody doesn't want us to talk about it. So,
Give him a hard notice. We're going to talk about Picard right now.
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Oh my God. This season was amazing. I loved it. I loved all of it.
I did too, and I don't. Some people call some stuff fan service. I don't care. Why can't I? What's wrong with fan service, really?
Well, but it's not. It's fan service implies that there's no reason for it to be there, right? And I feel like the, I feel like all of the fan service was organically, like, grown. If that means anything.
Wow. It was the finest fan service weed you will ever smoke.
Yes, Teacher Guy, we will do a special show about indie rock. Yeah, we'll do that.
Keto Steel says, "I'm a fan. Service me."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I loved everything. I loved everything about it. I thought it was so well executed. I guess my only criticism is I feel like they sort of actively, air quotes, corrected things from the first two seasons of Picard. But, I mean, I'm okay with that, but I feel like they could have explained, like, for instance, the Borg. It's like, okay, so Beverly says the Borg haven't been heard from for 10 years. But at the end of season 2 of Picard, which canonically takes place earlier in the same year as season 3, the Borg show up. Now, it was always...
She may not have known that.
But it was always my understanding that particular Borg group was from the alternate timeline that they went to in season 2, because it was Jurati coming in as the Queen, and she was assimilated in the alternate timeline.
No, she was assimilated in the past of our timeline.
No, she wasn't. She was assimilated in the past of the alternate timeline.
But the past of the ultimate timeline.
No,
is
I'm
the
sorry.
same timeline
Let me
as us.
rephrase that. She replaced the Queen from the alternate timeline. So
Yes, but because they fixed the timeline, the alternate timeline ceased to exist.
correct, but that in my mind meant that the Borg that show up to protect the portal thing was from an alternate timeline and not the actual Borg from the Prime universe.
I agree with Lord Ford, who says now we need the Fleet Museum added to Stowe.
Yes, absolutely.
I wonder how they got their hands on Kronos 1.
Oh, at the Fleet Museum?
Yeah.
They also had a Romulan bird of prey.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw that.
I wonder if that's from... I don't know what that was from, but...
I think if I was being generous, I would give this season a 7 out of 10.
The Whale movie. Yay, time Yeah, the other thing is that I sort of felt like maybe when Jurati showed up, it corrected the Borg, and now the Prime Queen, like, they get disconnected or something. I don't know. Like, I wish they had explained that a little bit better, like how the relationship between the Borg were working in that. But other than that, I thought that the season was fantastic. And I loved everything about it. I loved that it gave moments for the characters to breathe and, like, have relationships and, like, you know, dramatic tension and stuff. So
I liked Geordi more in this than I have in any other Star Trek thing.
yeah, he was great. Although he's not that different than when he was in that Voyager episode in the alternate future as Captain LaForge of the Challenger.
That speech though, where he's talking to Data while Data's inside fighting war.
Oh my God! Like that
was a
whole.
great
I
moment.
mean, every character got their moment to shine. Like, got to do the thing that they're best at, and like it was really satisfying to me. And surprising that they didn't all die. Like, I honestly thought that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that because not everything anymore has to be somebody always dies. Why is it? Star Trek is about hope too. So
I feel like that subverted.
But death is so good.
I feel like that subverted the
narratively
expectation. So.
It's so satisfying to give a character a definitive end.
I mean,
That
I don't know.
bringing Data back to life, I have very mixed feelings about. Because I loved the death, and I especially loved season 1 of Picard exploring that.
I did too. I actually did like it, but I love that this feels like a different Data. And
Yes, but I also feel like that's a cop out.
I don't. I mean,
Like, it's an excuse. It's not. My point is, it's not a bad excuse, but it's an excuse to bring back Data and basically pretend that this is, 20 years ago or however long it's been since Next Gen, and it's just, it feels like, especially with it being the Enterprise D, it's like you've turned the clock back, you've erased most of everything from the movies, and you also took out, along with that, seasons 1 and 2 of Picard.
but I feel like with any, like, it's just like whenever they change. Am I doing this right? Am I supposed to bring these asteroids over to here? I don't even know how to do this.
It was a season of fan service, and in fairness, that's very much what the trailer suggested it was going to be, and they delivered. But the cost, I feel, was too high. Like, all of the really fun, interesting characters Star Trek Picard had created, especially in the first season,
Yeah.
that all were pretty much just forgotten about. The only character that was created for Picard that was in this season was Raffi, and let's be honest, that's only because Seven was in this season.
I don't think so, because I think Raffi's character is also a great catalyst for Worf's character, and I feel like that.
But Raffi is so much more than just someone to make Worf look good. Like,
I mean, I agree, but I feel like she had her own moments too. Like, they weren't, like, I don't know. I felt like she was the biggest non-TNG part, like TNG era. I mean, I guess it's because she was the only part. But.
yeah, and it was not particularly big. Let's be honest.
No, but I mean, I feel like the show had a big, like, they wanted to do a send-off to TNG, and they needed to. And I feel like, I honestly think they're going to get the spin-off show, and then they can spend their time with Raffi on that show.
I know the last time that they used the phrase "we've heard the fans loud and clear." That's when we knew we were getting Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Legacy's coming.
Yeah, and I had opinions about that one too.
I think we're definitely getting. Legacy. I think that there's they understand what the fans want. There's a shift in the direction of the shows, and I think that they're going to be doing more. I think they're finding that happy middle ground. I think that they're finding that happy middle ground between the aesthetics of New Trek and the storytelling and the of old Trek. And I feel like Strange New Worlds and Picard Season 3 have found that balance really well, and I think that that's where they need to sit. And I'm not saying that that's how every show should be, but I think that with Strange New Worlds and eventually Legacy, they're going to bridge the gap between a lot of the fans. And I think that that's going to make it easier for fans to accept shows like the Academy show or the Section 31 movie or any other, bigger, grander, faster, actionier shows they want to do. Because fans know that, hey, if I don't like this, I still have these other shows I can go watch. Like, I think it's all about variety and diversity. So.
Allies have cleared an asteroid from the field. We've stopped this encampment for now.
I very much disagree with almost everything you said.
Oh, okay, great.
So how about little Easter eggs I enjoyed when they were at the Daystrom station and they see they've got James Kirk's body. If you listen closely, there's a med bay heartbeat.
I heard that, yeah.
I did see an interesting Twitter thing that pointed out that technically, I think Star Trek Picard is the only Star Trek series to never have a character from the original series depicted.
Well, that's not entirely true because Walter Koenig did voice Chekhov's son.
Anton too. His name was Anton.
Yeah, as an homage to Anton Yelchin.
That's not.
I mean, it wasn't a character,
an
but it
series.
was a bridge to a character. But what other shows? You mean a show to not have a show from the original series? Oh, you're right.
Every other Star Trek show has had a character from the original series. The only iffy one is
Enterprise hasn't.
T'Pau is a character.
Oh,
in
that's
Enterprise.
true. And Zephram Cochrane, actually Zephram Cochrane also, because there's a TOS episode with Zephram Cochrane.
True. I'd forgotten about Zephram Cochrane. And depending on how you want to slice it, obviously the final dialogue of Enterprise has Kirk saying the episode's openings.
Right, the intro. Yeah, that's interesting. So Picard didn't have any. Yeah, I guess you're right.
And obviously that's including all the new shows as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, technically we saw Kirk's body.
Yes.
So I guess you're wrong.
Because it is. But was that Kirk's body? Or
it's definitely Kirk's body from Viridian 3. So I don't know if people know this, but William Shatner wrote a series of books about
I tried to forget.
The Romulans using Borg technology to resurrect Captain Kirk's body from Viridian 3. It's called like The Return and Ashes or something like.
Ashes to Eden, maybe.
Yeah, Ashes to Eden or something. I thought that was fascinating.
It's all right. The first book that's specifically about post Star Trek 6 is actually really cool. But when it gets to the post Star Trek 7 stuff, it gets a little dicey.
Tow them away from the
I
enemy
saw
launch
this.
facility.
I saw it on YouTube Shorts and TikTok this week. There was a video of William Shatner being interviewed about Star Trek Generations, talking about how when he said the "Oh my" line, he meant it to come across like as wonder, but it came across as kind of fearful. But in the same video, there's somebody who's done a CGI version of Spock on Meridian 3.
I saw that. Yeah.
Picking up like his combat, not just a combat badge, but his insignia.
His insignia pin. Yeah, that's a great little short too.
And in my head, I'd like to feel that happened.
Oh, I'm sure it happened.
Yeah, Matt Black says the Roddenberry.
Oh, the Roddenberry Archives made that short? That's amazing.
Yep.
Is that from the official Roddenberry people? Like the Rod Roddenberry's group?
I believe so.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I saw the clip on YouTube. It was fantastic. What about the refit NX-01 at the museum?
Nice.
I would love.
cool.
I wish they would do an anthology series and like go back and finish up some of like the storylines and stuff from different
Give us
things.
Enterprise Season 5.
Yeah, just an episode, like really like.
And want the Romulan War.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
but I think about it now, and I hate to think of it since it's one of the more recent series, but it's been 20 years for Enterprise. They're too old.
No, you
If
pick them up. You pick them up 20 years
Bleeping
after.
Star Trek Picard Season 3 can exist. I can have Enterprise
true.
Season 5.
It's true.
Just so long as Scott Bakula doesn't bring along his NCIS New Orleans accent.
I wish that they would have some Enterprise characters show up in Strange New Worlds. That'd be cool. I would love it if T'Pol shows up.
Dr.
Or-
Fox. You can always say the aliens lived like hundreds of years.
Well,
How about
but the thing is like McCoy. When McCoy shows up in the pilot episode of TNG, he's 147. So he could. I mean, humans could easily still be alive in Strange New Worlds, like Arch. I mean, in Star Trek 2009, which takes place the same years as Strange New Worlds, like in the alternate universe, Admiral Archer is still alive.
What wasn't the first movie the 22 Forces?
What, Star Trek 2009?
Yeah, because weren't
No,
they
it's like
discussing
22
his time at the
It's-
academy?
2250.
Allies have cleared an
Is it
asteroid.
2254 or something?
Allies have cleared an asteroid from the field.
But it wasn't super clear how long ago that was. Like, if it was a few years... But either way, it's still... Archer's, yeah, has lasted a while. Or at least his dog has.
his prized beagle.
What is that? Is that from some canon thing, Ronnie? Like, or is that just from like a non-on-screen thing?
It could come from that episode In a Mirror Darkly, because there's the one where Mirror Archer is
you're
reading his
right.
profile, finds out he goes on to be like president of the Federation.
Yeah,
and so forth.
yeah, you're right.
But that's in the Mirror. Well, I
Yeah,
guess
but
no.
it's-
That the computer is from the Defiant, which was from the Prime universe. So yeah, I guess that would be right.
That's interesting. Didn't think about that.
Well, now they've got Archer Space Dock and probably Starfleet Academy. It'll get mentioned. Whatever that show's gonna be called.
Yeah, it's well. I think it's called I think it's called Star Trek Academy. Oh my gosh! I don't even. What are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be doing something with asteroids, right?
we're gonna hold all these, and then once they're all blue, then the dreadnoughts will get released, and then they blow up the dreadnoughts.
Are we supposed to do anything with these asteroids? I thought we were supposed to take them somewhere.
You gotta push them through to your side.
Is our side the blue side?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, in proper science fiction news, Doctor Who has been throwing out some teaser trailers for the specials coming later this year.
Very exciting.
Is that PBS? Is that public broadcasting show? PBS
Oh no,
show?
no, Lance, it's on Disney Plus now.
Oh, is it really? Actually,
I think it is. I think the new season's gonna be on Disney Plus. Because didn't Disney like buy into it and they up to pay to produce the new season or something?
There is some sort of agreement, and presumably it will affect distribution for you folks. I don't think any details have been released at this stage as to what form that will take, but I might be wrong.
when I was a kid growing up in the 80s and early 90s, the only place you could see Doctor Who, the old ones anyway, was public broadcasting channel called PBS. So I always remember they would do their annual fundraisers to raise funds, and they would do like a huge run of Doctor Who episodes, and that's where I got to watch Doctor Who originally.
The longest running and greatest science fiction show in the world.
Let's not go too crazy there.
Why, you're gonna somehow quibble over longest running?
No.
Because greatest is undeniable.
I don't know about that.
Could never get into it, but I never have a problem that anybody wants to like something. I don't take the time to say, hey, all that sucks. Everybody can like what they like, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. But they also can't label it as the greatest.
It is slightly sadly, along with Star Trek, and as far as I'm aware, Star Wars, we are very much in the era of nostalgia rules, which is a bit of a shame. There's a lot of looking back rather than looking forward in science fiction at the moment, it seems.
Well, I mean, I feel like there's this inherent human desire for retelling of stories that just happens to also happen on the largest scale of storytelling. I mean, you go back to, the 50s and the 60s, and I mean, they were reviving Broadway shows that had already been done. I know that's a little different because it's stage versus screen, where, you can watch something unlimited number of times instead of having to always go to, a live show. But I think it's part of the nature of storytelling, and I'm kind of okay with that.
There's also the other aspect of it too, is that it's a business and they're making money, and right now the people that have the money are the ones that are enjoying looking back.
Yeah, there's something like there's only six corporations that like own all the media outlets that exist. So all right, let's do our second giveaway. So the winner of the bonus pool collection pack is Savage Shadow 01. Savage
Congrats.
Shadow 01. So congratulations. I think you're watching on Twitch. So if you could go ahead and private message the Priority One account on Twitch with your in-game @handle, we will get those prizes out to you in the next couple of days. So, congrats. All right.
Finally gonna complete this match.
Awesome.
Metaphasic shield.
All right, so let's start our final giveaway for the night. So, for your chance to win 5 lockbox master keys, type into the chat laces out. No, I'm sorry, dolphins. Type into the chat dolphins. If you get the laces out reference, you'll understand what that is. Laces out, Dan.
Best football movie of all time.
Oh my god, you make movies about football?
Oh yeah.
No,
Sure.
the greatest football movie ever made is Unnecessary Roughness, starring Scott Bakula.
It's good. It's not the greatest.
It is the greatest. No, you're right. The greatest movie ever made is The Replacements, starring Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman.
Never seen that one.
Is it? Are you serious?
Yeah, we don't go for scabs, and this is a union house.
Oh.
I'm like O'Brien. I'm a union man.
So, are you telling me you haven't seen the? You have seen the movie without telling me you've seen the movie?
No, I really haven't seen it. I have nothing against it. I just, it's what, has it been out 20 years now? I just haven't gotten around to it.
You would love it. You would love it.
Remember the Titans, Bort Cobain. That is a very good one as well.
All right. I need to step away for a minute, so why don't you guys talk amongst yourselves while we wait for this to reset, okay?
All right, Sella, who's your favorite Doctor, since it's your favorite show of all time?
I'm very fond of number 5, Peter Davison. But in all honesty, I love all of them.
So,
I think they've all done a very good job.
which one, if you describe what he looks to me, I'm
It's
not
the
familiar.
crickety one, the very light-coloured, wears like a cricket jumper, basically a cream jacket, and it's very, very light-coloured.
With the scarf?
No, the one after the scarf.
Okay, because the one with the scarf had brown hair, is kind of a bushy brown hair type.
Yeah, Peter Davison's the blonde guy with essentially the blonde clothes.
Let me look him up right now. I gotta look him up. I did watch the ones with Christopher Eccleston, and I did enjoy those. I mean, I just didn't get into it enough to keep going on. Is that still part, like, is it, if for somebody who hears about Doctor Who, where do you start? Because it's got so much.
Eccleston is not a bad starting point. Another good jumping on point is Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. If you watch his first story, broadly speaking, you can start Doctor Who at pretty much any point, and you'll get it within a couple of episodes. It's a pretty simple premise, but there are some points where if you join now, all of the characters are new, so it won't expect you to know anything.
We have stopped the Zinkethi from retaking the system.
Yeah, just I think
Well
the one
done.
thing I remember from the Eccleston one is like I remember the Daleks from watching when I grew up, and what they die. I'm betting they came back with how sci-fi works at some point.
You can never keep the Daleks down.
Yeah. I mean, how do you stop a robot with a big French horn, trumpet, or whatever that is, sticking out of it? Oh, it's the bag.
Bathroom
it's
plunger.
the bagpipe, the bagpipe robot. What was that for? Was it like an audio, like a olfactory sensor? I never understood what is the basis of the Daleks, like their origin.
Basically, created by a madman who essentially irradiated his own planet in order to have an excuse to create the most perfect creature in existence. And this creature was hideous and so required a travel machine, and thus the Dalek was created to take over the galaxy.
Oh, good.
It's-
I'm glad I
the
missed most of
Daleks
that.
The Daleks have very consistently been a allegory for fascism.
Are they completely robotic, or is there anything organic inside?
No, the Dalek is the creature within the shell.
Okay.
Basically a very mutated octopus. If you can talk for NASCAR for like 3 hours, you can spare a couple of minutes for Doctor Who.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I figure I don't know much about it, and I can't, to learn more. I think maybe that would make me interested in watching it. I probably maybe should give it another try. And I was pretty sure then you were talking about Peter Davidson. You weren't talking about Pete Davidson, who is the
No.
ugliest dude in America who gets the most beautiful women.
He's actually doing the voice of the lead Transformer in the new Transformers movie, Rise of the Beasts.
Which Transformer?
Mirage.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I do enjoy his skits though on Saturday Night Live, so he does make me laugh.
I'm actually looking forward to the new Transformers movie. I'm a huge Transformers fan, and most of the live-action movies have been not stellar, to put it mildly. So I have high hopes for this one. The Bumblebee movie I thought was really good. That one was more like character-driven and more about the relationship between the human character and Bumblebee. So I did really like that.
I stopped, but I watched a few minutes of Age of Extinction, and then I was
my
done.
God. I forget what the last one is. I think The Last Night is the last one, and that movie is like unwatchable.
Yeah, I tried to watch that too. Same result.
You should watch. If you haven't seen Bumblebee, you should watch Bumblebee. It's really good.
Yeah, I saw one of those Transformer films when I was a kid, and I was like, wow, this is rubbish.
When you were a kid? How old are you?
Well, Transformers is old, isn't it? Like that. Like
the first one came out in
live-action one was
2007.
Yeah, I was like 10 years old.
Are you serious? Holy shit, I'm old.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I was 25. I'm old enough to be your father? Good Lord.
I'm not going to say anything because I think I'm older than you, Tony.
Yeah, but not by much.
I remember one of the animated Transformers movies from the 80s. Leonard Nimoy voiced a character.
There's only one, and it's the greatest Transformers movie ever made. And if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's called Transformers: The Movie. And it was released in 1986. And in fact, the storyline is that. Well, I'm going to spoil it because I'm sure nobody's going to watch it. But
just read out the whole script. Just
it's
go
the
for
80s.
it.
It's the
The
80s.
first-
If you haven't watched it now.
No, you don't understand. This movie this movie is an amazing milestone in filmmaking for several reasons. Okay, number one, the movie has an amazing plot line, and it stars the heroes of the Transformers cartoon, which ran from 1984 to 1986, and then the movie comes out after season 2 and before season 3. And because the Transformers cartoon existed for the sole purpose of selling toys, they let the writers do whatever they wanted, and as long as they were selling toys. Like, that's all they cared about. And so they came up with some really interesting plot lines and actually created some really interesting characters. So when the movie came out, Hasbro was like, all right, we're losing the license on these toys from Takara, which was the Japanese company that had the rights to the physical molds of the toys. And so they wanted to do a whole refresh of the Transformers line. So they said, yeah, we're not going to make any of these characters so you can kill them off in the movie, right? So you go to the movie theater as a 5-year-old boy. This is me going to the movie theater as a 5-year-old boy. And in the first 20 minutes of the movie, so for 2 years of watching this cartoon, every time they got into a fight, right, and they shot their guns and their laser guns at each other, nobody ever died. It was everybody was always fine. They'd always get fixed. It was never a problem. In the first 20 minutes of this movie, they slaughter 90% of the characters from the TV show. And I don't mean like they get killed off screen. Like, Megatron straight up hijacks their shuttle and murders them in a 5-minute musical sequence to a metal song. And then he even just executes one
80s.
who is like pleading for his life, right? So then 10 minutes later, there's this huge fight between Megatron and Optimus Prime, and before the first 20 minutes are over, they kill Optimus Prime. They just straight up kill him, and he's dead forever.
Is that where Rodimus Prime comes in?
So Optimus Prime passes the Matrix of Leadership to Ultra Magnus, who he deems as the next leader of the Autobots. But Ultra Magnus isn't really worthy of the Matrix of Leadership. And so the plot of the movie unfolds, and Megatron is almost just as fatally wounded as Prime, and in fact Starscream decides that, well, I'm going to be the leader of the Decepticons. So he literally jettisons Megatron and a bunch of other injured Decepticons out into space and leaves them for dead. Where Unicron, who is this giant planet-sized transformer that eats other planets for fuel, finds Megatron and his damaged minions adrift, and he makes a deal with him that if Megatron destroys the Matrix of Leadership, he'll resurrect. He'll give Megatron a new body. So Megatron agrees, and then before he goes off on this quest to destroy the Matrix of Leadership, Unicron resurrects him as Galvatron, who is in fact voiced by Leonard Nimoy. And what's interesting is that Unicron is voiced by Orson Welles in his final film role before he passed away. In fact, he passed away before the movie even released.
Unicron's other name is Galactus.
Well, sort of. But anyway, so then what happens is that at the end of the movie, Hot Rod who, by the way, is partially responsible for Prime's death at the beginning of the movie. He realizes that he is the true leader of the Autobots, and he's the only one that can unleash the power of the Matrix to light the Autobots' darkest hour, which is, in fact, as Unicron is pummeling the planet Cybertron. And so after they defeat Unicron, it ends the Cybertronian wars between the Autobots and the Decepticon and ushers in a new era of peace. And then season 3 of the show picks up from the end and continues the story of how the Autobots are now in charge of Cybertron, and they're trying to keep peace in the galaxy. So there was such an outcry that they killed Optimus Prime that at the end of season 3 they brought him back to the show. And so there were these great episodes where there was Optimus Prime and Rodimus Prime as like this, this whole dynamic thing. It was really cool. And the other thing is that the movie has a swear word in it. So it's a kids movie, but they put a swear word in it because back in the day, if it was a G-rated movie, G-rated movies would not play outside of matinees. So they would only get the showtimes from the morning to the afternoon. So they included a swear in the movie so that the MPAA would rate it PG, and then theaters would be forced to play it into the evening, and it would get more showtimes to make more money.
What was the word?
It was
What does
shit.
it rhyme with?
It was they fire a bunch of missiles at Unicron that explode, and they're like, yeah, we got him. It's Bumblebee and Spike, the human character of Spike, who is from the cartoon. And the missiles explode, and then the smoke clears, and Unicron is still there. So they're like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? So yeah, it was great. That movie is fantastic. I highly recommend it for anybody.
80s animation in their movies I just loved. I think G.I. Joe was always great to watch.
Well, so fun fact is that Hasbro was also in production of the G.I. Joe movie, and they were going to kill the main characters from the cartoon. And when there was Transformers was released first, and when they saw what happened when they killed Optimus Prime, they changed the story in the G.I. Joe movie.
They can't kill Duke.
Yeah, they were going to kill him. They were totally going to kill him.
My favorite was always Shipwreck, though, for the G.I. Joe.
So Transformers, the movie, 1986, everybody should watch it. It's a fantastic movie. The animation is great. The storytelling is great. The performances are great. It's just such a great, it's the best Transformers movie. Bumblebee is the second best, and then I can't even really rank the rest. I don't.
Did you watch the 80s Care Bear movies? I did. I'm gonna admit
I did. I don't
loved
remember them, but I loved Care Bears when I was a kid.
Did they have Care Bears in the UK, Sally?
Are those like gummy sweets?
No. It's these little
Then
bears,
no.
and they all had their own magical power. Like there was one that had like a shamrock, and then another had like a rainbow or a, I can't remember all of them. Somebody in the chat might remember the names of all of them, but they all had their own special powers. And who was the evil people in Care Bears?
I don't
Who was the
remember.
villain? I don't remember. Because they kind of graduated from like Care Bears to G.I. Joe and Transformers and so on.
It was clearly
Oh,
the hate sticks.
Ninja Turtles. I was a big Ninja Turtles fan too.
Tenderheart, Baron von Zolo. Tenderheart was the
Tenderheart,
head,
yes.
the head.
Was he
Care
the
Bear.
lion one? Was he the lion one?
Was that Lionheart? I don't know.
Lionheart. I remember.
Tenderheart might have been the brown one with the red heart.
There were
I
the
thought that was
Care Bears,
Tenderheart.
and then wasn't there like after a couple seasons? Wasn't there like the animal ones? They had like a lion and
Yep.
stuff. I remember the lion. That's about it.
It's kind of like how He-Man went, where they had the cat. What is the? I never watched Thundercats. That was the
Thundercats.
spin-off.
I watched the Little Thundercats. I never really watched He-Man. I never really watched G.I. Joe. I was a Transformers, Ninja Turtles kid. That was my jam, man. Like I know a lot about Transformers. In fact, I have a huge. You've seen pictures of my Transformers collection, right, Lance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a huge Transformers collection, and I love the Ninja Turtles. It's just, there's a new Ninja Turtles movie coming out. Are you guys excited about that? Have you seen the trailers?
No.
I have seen it.
It's from Seth Rogen is producing it, and he's voicing Bebop, I think.
Oh, hey, to bring it back to Star Trek just a little bit, as I mentioned He-Man. Do you remember the 1987 He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe?
Oh my gosh, I mean I remember it exists.
So it starred Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, but Frank Langella, who was in Star Trek, he was I forget his name, but he was a Bajoran attempting the coup of the government. But also Robert Duncan McNeil played a character, Kevin Corrigan, in that movie.
No way.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie, and like, especially like when they're like going to get fried chicken at the drive-thru. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. Also, yeah, Courtney Cox was in that movie too.
Jeez.
Now, Friends, I was alive for. Just.
I have a hot take and a hot take on that one that nobody pretty much likes whenever I say it. But if you take out the laugh track, Friends isn't funny at all.
I'm pretty sure it was filmed in front of a studio audience. I think it was back far enough that it was a live studio audience.
And if you leave in the homophobia, it's also not very funny.
True.
Oh my.
There's a lot of like that show did not age well.
No.
Seinfeld was probably in that movie too.
I really
Seinfeld,
want
though,
to watch Seinfeld because I've heard a lot about it.
it's so good. It's so good. Actually, you know what? I feel like the best show that's like that is Selleck, and you're probably going to be surprised, but it's the UK version of Coupling.
Coupling.
You've never seen Coupling?
think we've had this discussion on
We
a
have.
episode before.
Do you know who created that show?
Yes, Stephen Moffat.
Stephen Moffat. It's basically, what if you took the cast of Friends and the writing of Seinfeld and made it all about sex and relationships? It's such a good show. See, Nova agrees with me.
Beyond Seinfeld, I'm a huge fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David because he co-created Seinfeld with Jerry Seinfeld, and George Costanza is based off him personally. And he kind of just accentuates that in Curb Your Enthusiasm. He ups the George in that, and his fictional self-character that he plays in that show. In the first episode, his wife's family already doesn't like him, and then like the aunt dies, and he says he'll handle the obituary. And when the paper comes out, instead of saying beloved aunt is misspelled with a C, and they're all angry at him. He's like, I didn't do it.
That's amazing.
The two funny American shows are Parks and Rec
Parks and Rec is great.
Close asteroids
and Arrested
total
Development.
away from the enemy launch.
Arrested Development
Those
is
are
great.
the two funny American shows
It-
that exist.
It's funny because I feel like The Office is a great show, but it depends on which one you watched first, dictates which one you think is better. Because
I believe that the American Office is probably better than the British one.
Oh wow.
But-
Okay.
That's because I hate it with a passion, the British one. And I've never watched it because I'm like, it's just going to be an American version of a turd. Like, it's probably better, but I doubt it's going to be worth watching.
It does get better because after the first season, they kind of let the show do what. So, the first episode of both shows are identical in script. They're literally the exact same script. Once they let the American Office do its own thing and not be so close to the original, it morphed into such a great show. Whereas David Brent from the British Office is an unredeemable character. Michael Scott from the American Office is a redeemed character and is an endearing character. And what's amazing is that they actually exist in the same universe because when Steve Carell left the office, they did a hiring process for the new manager, and David Brent was one of the people who interviewed for the job.
Did Ricky guest star for that?
Oh yeah, because he's a co-creator of the American Office.
Yeah. I don't know about anyone else. I actually almost love most of the comedy that he does.
It's got a specific style. I did like the one with what's his face?
Perfect time.
Played the little furry creatures in Star Wars, I think.
Warwick Davis, Life is
one.
Short.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's
yes,
good.
I
Yeah.
did quite like that one, but generally
Extras?
I'm not fond of
You ever seen Extras, and especially the episode with Patrick Stewart?
God, you are hurting my brain with all of the deja vu I'm getting. We've done all of this live on
Have we
stream
really?
before.
Whatever.
Yes, we then went on to discuss. Oh God, what was it?
Which episode?
Coupling and
So, by the way, Spirit Caller, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a great show. Also, that's a fantastic show.
the subject matter is the biggest problem with that show. But yes,
I mean, yes and no. I feel like in the last season they were very self-aware about that. So
The only clip I know of that show is the lineup scene where they sing Backstreet Boys.
that show is just fantastic. All right. Let's do our final giveaway and we'll close out the show. This is perfect. We ran Gon'Cra twice. So awesome. And somebody has surrounded me with Valkyrie fighters. Thank you for whoever did that, I guess. It looks like I have space flies. All right, so the winner of our final giveaway of 5 lockbox master keys. Good lord, I cannot speak.
Blocksmox.
Blockbox. All right, so the winner is SC Castle 85.
Well, just join the fleet tonight.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Awesome. Well, it's a good thing you tuned in. That's fantastic.
Yes.
We've now hooked you for life.
And that's the last time we saw them. Anyway, so congratulations. So go ahead and message the Priority One channel private message in Twitch, and with your in-game @handle, and we'll get those sent out to you in the next few days. All right, so that wraps up episode 260 of the Priority One Armada live briefing. But before we go, here's a glimpse at next week's briefing. Next week, Winters will be in the Admiral's desk hosting with Panda and someone else that we don't know who it is yet. So as with every week, we'll be talking about the latest news from Star Trek Online and Priority One Armada. Plus, we will be teaming up with you in another adventure zone to earn more marks and dilithium. Why is my name on everything in this section?
So I screwed up when I was writing it, and we just decided we weren't going to correct it.
If you're not a member of the Priority One Armada and want to chat with us in-game, then come join us on our Priority One chat channel by typing in the chat box /channel_join space Priority One, all one word, and then hit the enter key. And if you do want to become a member,
we should be doing different accents for these.
Yeah, we need to hear British Tony. With
oh
American
God.
land.
This is going to be embarrassing. All right. Purple. There's certain words I have to say to get into my British accent. Purple, a bottle of water. If you do want to become a member of the Priority One Armada community, simply head over to PriorityOneArmada.com to sign up. We have multiple Federation and KDF fleets for you to start your career as part of the Priority One Armada. That was terrible.
He must be from Slough.
Yep. Okay. This episode of Priority One Armada Live is brought to you by our community patrons through Patreon.com. Find out about the thank you packages we offer for each tier and add your support at Patreon.com/Priority One Armada. It's your support that keeps us going. And speaking of Patreon, a special thanks to our Patreon supporters like Wile E. Coyote, Syar, Prince 1983, Teacher Guy, Amerigen, Tazan, Asar, Four, Seal, B-Film Fan, Miller, Shajora, Eric Allen, Kat, Astro, Gorgira, Quicksilver, Farnsworth, Jesse, Riker Carlson, Frank S. Bradley, and our newest patrons this month, Zim and Mallory. Would you like to be notified of our next live stream? Then follow our various channels on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You never know what we will give away next time.
I think we should point out that the way the script reads, it says the hosts are Tony, Tony, Tony. So if you like that band, this is all for you.
Before we go, I would like to say thank you to our artist Jason Smith, thanks to Jesse for advertising our show in game, and thanks to our community manager James, I would also like to say a very special thank you to my co-hosts Tony and Tony for joining me this week. I don't know what that was about. And finally, of course, a big thanks to you, the viewers, because without you, none of this would be possible. So, until next week, take care, live long and prosper. Say goodbye, folks.
I would like to formally distance myself from anything that just happened.
Have a good week, everybody.
Toodles.
End transmission,